Hey everyone, China here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a wave short here on gold. Looking for our entry here at 1112.6. First target's going to come off at 1111.1. Nice set of ones there. 1111.1. Second target and final target, I'm thinking, in this move down is going to be at 1109.4. Just solidify that move lower. So 1109.4 is going to be that final target, and we're just looking for us to kind of push back down again. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that for the most part, at least, with that big gap down that we had, we've really just kind of continued that movement. We've been seeing a little bit of a correction higher. That's not much of a surprise, just some profit taking, and then we're seeing us come right back down again, and we're continuing that move lower. So with that move lower, we're just anticipating us to follow along with that bearishness and go and work our way right back down to the lows, and that's why we're looking for a wave short here. Now, this morning, man, it's been pretty slow, right? We started out with kind of a bang from yesterday, and then everything just seems to have kind of died off. We really haven't gotten a lot of movement in terms of the overall just kind of market sentiment, right? I mean, if we look at the clock down here, this is 7 o'clock. Right down here, that's 7 o'clock, and we're going on 8:30 right now, 8:20, and we've really only formed this little bit right here, so we've slowed down quite a bit. But, you know, outside of that, everything looks good. It's just a matter of understanding the fact that, hey, we might be in this trade for a little while, waiting for it to kind of catch its legs back to the downside. So again, we're looking for entry here at 1112.6, looking for the first target at 1111.1, and then looking for the final target down here at 1109.4. So let's get these all filled in here. Right there. Now, 1109.4, you don't want to put it right on that level. Let's go to 0.7, and we'll front run it by a little bit. There we go. So looking to the downside, really just kind of looking to pick up a fast little move here. From our entry from 1112.6 to the first target, we're looking at locking in 15 ticks, and then after that to that secondary target, 9.7, we're looking at 29. Now again, we're taking 2 off at both of these, so the first one's 30, and the next one is 29 and 29. That gives us 88 ticks on the trade back to the downside if we can get this thing going. Now, based on the movement that we've seen all morning, it's really kind of something we need to pay attention to in the sense that we need to be a little bit careful, right? We've been seeing this movement get really, really shaky, especially with all this whippiness. So with this whippiness here, the reason I'm bringing that up is because we probably don't want to move our stop to break even right away. There's a good chance that we can trail the swings down and stay in for the longer move down here to 1109.7. If we get a little bit too aggressive on our stop, given the type of day that we're seeing, there's a good chance that it might pull back, stop us out right at break even, and then fall right back down again. So we got to be a little bit careful there. We'll probably trail our stops based on the swings, but we'll see how it goes. So we'll let it do its thing, and we're looking for that first target at 1111.1. All right, seeing those sellers come back in, finally got our target filled, 1111.1. So again, like we were saying before, we don't necessarily want to go to break even too early because that's got a really good chance of getting us stopped out. So instead of going to break even immediately, we're just going to lock our stop in a little bit closer, and we'll stop at 1113.1 for right now. Now, that does mean that if we do get stopped out, we give some back, right? We give 5 ticks back on 2 contracts. We give back 10. But that being said, we just locked in 30. So it still means that we end up positive on the day, or at least on this trade for $200, which is really kind of what is needed in this type of scenario. We need to use that profit we just made to build in a little bit of a buffer for our stop to give us a little more room here. You can see how whippy this has been, though. Right back to break even, right back to break even. Now we finally get the target. It wouldn't be a surprise to see it come right back to break even again. So instead of playing with fire, we're going to trail back a little ways here to give it some room, but overall looking for the final target at 1109.7. All right, price coming 1 tick away, and there we got it filled. So 1109.7 just got filled. We got our final target. Everything looking really, really good. The big thing really that we're seeing right now is just kind of that slowdown that we were expecting. I'm perfectly okay taking all of my targets here at 1109.7, primarily because of that slowdown. It just makes a little bit more sense. Again, we don't want to really play with fire, much rather put that profit in our pockets. So overall, 88 ticks to the downside, $880. That's going to be the trade. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Go over to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.